Good morning, YouTube. Grandpa Cavendish, Ed here, coming from my dining room this morning. There'll be no smoking out in the backyard for any time soon because we are in the midst right here of a nor'easter, and we're awaiting Hurricane Joaquin that is bearing down on this area, this middle Atlantic region. I live in New York. So there's a lot of rain and wind out there right now. So it's not particularly amenable to pipe smoking. But in honor of the big storm that's taking place and the other one coming, I decided to choose a tobacco blend that might be fitting. And this is John Patton's Stormfront in my Missouri Pride. This is a burley blend with cigar leaf. Very tasty. So, the purpose of the video this morning is to offer a video response to Gilles Cassidy. Gilles is having a 100 subs giveaway with some wonderful prizes. So I highly urge any of you to subscribe to Giles's channel and to enter his contest. But he has 3 questions for us to answer. The first one is, what aspects of pipe smoking do I particularly like that would cause me to want to continue with the hobby and not quit? And I was thinking about it, and I think for me, I would say the fact that it is a hobby. Pipe smoking is a hobby for me. It's not something that I do necessarily every day or need to do every day. I'm not looking for the nicotine, for example. I'm more of a flavor type of guy. That's why I do it. But the fact that it is a hobby, and unlike other hobbies that I've had in the past, like coin collecting, for example, this is a hobby where you can use the object of your collecting, namely the pipe. I can use it for smoking. I can't really use the coins that I collect. I mean, I can look at them, I can touch them, I can feel them, as I can with the pipe. But these I can use. So I like that aspect of the hobby. The second aspect, Gilles is looking for 2. That I like, that will cause me to continue to want to smoke the pipe, is I think it's a skill to learn. So I want to learn the skill. I want to get better at it. I think I'm kind of mediocre at this point in the skill, and I'm hoping to improve, learn from others, etc. And unlike other things that I've taken up in the past, I want to continue with it. I want to really complete it and learn the skill. Although I guess you never really complete it. You're always learning. But say unlike golf, for example, that I tried and kind of gave up, I'd like to keep this going. Another question that Gilles had is public piping. Do we do it, and why do we do it? And yes, I do public pipe. I do most of my smoking here at home, in the back or in the front of the house, or sometimes inside. But I live just outside of New York City. And, for those of you that may not be aware, New York City is a very unfriendly place for smoking. You can't smoke almost anywhere. So being a bit of a rebel at heart, I would say, I think I enjoy the public piping just because it gives me an opportunity to kind of stick it to the anti-smoking Nazis out there, of which we have a lot. So I have done some videos from in and around Central Park, in Cunningham Park, Queens, and in some of the other places within the city of New York, which allow me to do that. And I usually, choose nice places, so it's just an enjoyable. It's not only that; it's an enjoyable thing to do is just to smoke in a nice spot. For example, just outside of Central Park, and then be able to walk through the park. It would be nicer to be able to walk through the park smoking a pipe, but we can't. So it's still a lot of fun, and it's still nice to do. He has a third question, which is there anything about pipe smoking that's particularly irritating to me? And I would say the one thing that I find that's somewhat irritating about pipe smoking is, and again, this is probably more because of my skill not being adequately developed, but I do have issues with the pipe going out a lot. So I think it's more of a packing thing on my part, failure to pack the pipe properly, or failure to dry the tobacco out adequately. So I would say that's a problem in a way for me. It's a thing I don't particularly like, as opposed to cigar smoking, which I light up a cigar, for example, and I don't have problems keeping it lit. So that might be something, that I'm not all that fond of. So, I mean, those are some of the things. I hope those answer your questions, Giles. And sounds like you have some great prizes. So, again, as I said before, I would urge everyone to enter Giles Cassidy, his contest. And I wish you all the best, Giles. He's a great guy up in Montreal, Canada. I don't believe he lives within the city of Montreal in another town, but in the province of Quebec. He's a great guy. He has a lot of good stories to tell, and I think he's got a good channel. Okay, so hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope you don't get nailed by this storm here, and hope your weekend is great. All right, everybody. Grandpa Cavendish signing off.